even in death. You cannot escape me!
No!
You're dead.
Leave me alone.
You will still enter the coffin!
After everything that happened on that street, my mother did not waste one single minute. She called her pastor. She called her prayer group. And by the next morning, it was decided. I was going for deliverance. Mommy's church was a white garment church, the kind where they wear long white robes and pray like their lives depend on it. The kind that does not come to play. The head of the church, the woman they all called Mommy, was small and in her 60s. Her white garment was pressed and clean, her eyes sharp and calm in the way of someone who has seen everything and is no longer surprised by any of it. She looked at me for a long time without speaking. Then she nodded slowly. "Bring her inside," she said. They laid me down on a white mat at the altar. Mommy and 7 prayer warriors surrounded me, all in white, all serious in the way people are serious when they know exactly what they are dealing with. And they began to pray. Not the kind of prayer you say before eating your food. The kind that sounds like a battle. The kind that fills the room and makes the air vibrate. They prayed over me for 3 days and 3 nights. I will not lie to you, it was not easy. During the second night, I felt a pressure on my chest so heavy I could not breathe. I heard sounds the others did not seem to hear. Something that had been riding on me since that day on the street was fighting back hard. But Mommy and her warriors did not stop. Not for 1 second. And on the morning of the 4th day, the weight lifted. Like ropes falling away. Like a door swinging open into clean air. I took a real breath. And I cried, not from fear, but from pure relief. Mommy placed her warm hand on my forehead. Nothing like the mad woman's cold, bony touch. Steady and sure. "It is done," she said quietly. "She is free." My mother screamed from across the room, a happy scream, the kind only a Nigerian mother can produce, and rushed to gather me in her arms. We drove home that afternoon, and the news was waiting for us. The mad woman was dead. Hit by a car not far from our street. No family. No name anyone knew for certain. They buried her quickly. I stood in our parlor and listened, and I felt something I did not expect. Not joy. Something quieter, sitting between sadness and understanding. Because I had seen her eyes in that last moment on the street. Not madness. Not evil. Just exhaustion. A woman who had carried something terrible for too long and had finally found a way to put it down. None of us choose the burdens we are handed. The next morning I woke up without fear. Do you understand what I mean? I had woken up afraid every single morning for weeks. My chest would tighten. My ears would strain for sounds that should not be there. But that morning, nothing. Just Legos waking up outside my window. Just my mother humming in the kitchen. Just ordinary, wonderful life. I put on my white school uniform and stood in front of my mirror. I looked like myself again. "Thank you, God," I whispered. Just those 3 words. But I meant every single one. I walked into the kitchen and the smell of frying plantain hit me like a hug. I crept up behind my mother and wrapped both arms around her. "Oh, precious, you want to make me burn myself." She laughed, but she held my arms where they were. "You are very happy this morning, no? Why won't I be happy, Mommy? The shadow is gone. No more coffins at our gate. No more voices in the night." My father appeared in the doorway, buttoning his shirt. "That is the spirit, my princess. That woman was a poor, troubled soul. Now you focus on your books. You are going to be a great doctor, remember?" "Yes, Daddy." I grinned at him. "I will study so hard today that my brain will beg me for a break." He tried not to smile. He failed. At school, I was a completely different person. I sat at the front. I heard every word the lecturer said. I wrote 3 pages of notes. During break, my friend Delight ran to me and grabbed my arm. Precious. I heard the news. Is it true? It is true. She is gone. Delight clapped once, the way you clap when a prayer is finally answered. Thank God. Oh. I was really worried for you. The way you were sitting in class and hearing nothing, I was scared. We shared my snacks and laughed about things that had nothing to do with coffins or dead women. Ordinary, beautiful things. For the first time in weeks, I did not see her face when I closed my eyes. That evening I swept the compound. Especially the spot near the gate where the coffin had once sat. I swept it until there was not a single leaf left. It was just concrete and dust like every other Lagos floor. But sweeping it felt like closing a chapter properly so the next one could begin clean. I went to bed early and slept deeply. No nightmares. No dry voices calling my name. But the next morning, everything changed again. I woke up and reached for my phone on the small table beside my bed. My hand touched paper. Old, rough paper. Slightly damp. With a smell like wet soil and something else I could not name, something that should not be inside a bedroom. My phone was on the floor, carefully moved aside to make room. I unfolded the paper with shaking hands. The writing was in red ink, thick and uneven, the letters leaning into each other like the hand behind them was not quite steady. Precious, please join me in the coffin, where I am, that is where you must be too. The paper fell from my hands. I fell out of my bed. And I ran. Daddy. Mommy. Come now. My parents rushed out. My father went into my room, picked up the paper, and read it. Then he checked the window, locked from inside. The door, also locked, the bolt still across. His face changed. How did it enter here? He whispered. The windows have iron bars. No human being came into that room last night. Then it is not a human being, my mother said flatly, already spraying holy water around the room. A body dies. But the thing that was using that body, that does not simply disappear because the body is in the ground. But mommy, I said quietly. The handwriting. It is the same as the writing on the coffin. That silenced everyone. I sat on the floor in the corridor and pressed my back against the wall. And in the silence, I could still hear her voice, dry and patient, inside my head. It is your turn, Precious. We spent the morning in the parlor trying to make sense of it. My father checked every window, every door. Nothing. No gap anywhere. And then something shifted inside me. One moment I was shaking. The next, the shaking began to be replaced by something else. Anger. Hot and quiet and absolutely certain. I am tired of running, I said. Both my parents looked at me. She is dead, I said. My voice was steady. Whatever is still attached to her name, I refuse to keep being afraid of it. I am going to face it tonight. In my own room. And I am going to tell it myself that it is finished. My mother looked at me for a long moment. Then she nodded once, slowly. Pray first, she said. Before you do anything. Pray first. Yes, Mommy, I said. I will. That night, I sat on my bed in the dark. No light. Just the faint glow of the street lamp outside drawing thin orange lines across the floor. I held the dirty paper in my hands and felt the cold coming off it, not the cold of wind, but the cold of something that lives below warmth. Below the reach of sunlight. Then the air changed. The temperature in the room dropped. Something pressed in from the corners. And then the voice came, dry, quiet, the same voice I had been hearing for weeks. Precious. A pause. The coffin is waiting. In the old weeks, those words would have sent me screaming out of the room. But tonight was different. I stood up. Slowly. Deliberately. I turned around. I raised the letter high in my right hand. And I spoke. Not in a whisper. Not in fear. Loud. Clear. With full authority. You are dead, I said. Finished. Whatever power you think you have, it died with her body in the ground. You are a corpse without a home and you will not find one here. The code pressed harder. Like something pushing back. I did not move. You did not create me, I continued, and my voice filled the room, filled every corner of it. You have no claim on my life. No authority over my sleep, my peace, my future. I am a child of the Most High God, and this body, this life, this destiny, none of it belongs to you. Not one single piece. I pointed at the window. Go back to where you came from. Go back to the ground. Go back to silence. You are not welcome in my Father's house and you are not welcome in my life. It is finished. Go. Silence. Complete, total silence. And then, slowly, the way code leaves a room when morning comes, the temperature rose. The pressure in the corner softened. The presence thinned. And was gone. I stood there breathing for a full minute, making sure. Then I tore the letter into the smallest pieces my hands could manage, walked to the window, opened it, and scattered the pieces into the night wind. It is finished, I said. I climbed into bed, pulled the covers up, and slept like a child. The next morning I checked the table. Nothing. My phone was where I left it. The room smelled of nothing but fresh air. 1 day passed. Nothing. 2 days. Still nothing. On the third morning, my mother came into my room while I was getting ready for school. She stood in the doorway just watching me for a moment. That useless thing has stopped disturbing us, she said. Since the night you spoke, nothing. No letters. No code. No anything. She pointed at me with full conviction the way only Nigerian mothers point. I was looking at a ghost of my daughter for weeks. Now I see my daughter. I crossed the room and hugged her tight. Go and do well in your exams, she said against my ear. That is what you owe me now. Not drama. Certificates. I laughed. Yes, Mommy. My father was at the gate when I came out. He paused and looked at me. I was in the parlor that night, he said. I heard everything you said in that room. He cleared his throat. You did well. You stood your ground. From my father, those 4 words were a full speech. I walked out of the gate into the bright Lagos morning. The hawkers. The Okada riders. The children running to school. The noise and the life of it all. I paused for just one moment at the spot where the mad woman used to stand. Just cracked asphalt and morning dust. Rest well, I said quietly. Not to the darkness. But to her, the woman who had carried something too heavy for too long and had finally been able to put it down. I hope wherever you are now, you have peace. Then I put my bag on my shoulder and walked into the morning. My name is Precious. I am 19 years old. And I learned something through all of this that I will carry for the rest of my life. Fear is not a small thing. When you are living inside it, it is the whole world. It changes how you breathe, how you sleep, how you walk down a street you have walked 100 times before. It makes you smaller than you are. But fear is not the final word. Because darkness only stays where it is allowed. It finds the cracks, the moments when you are too tired to push back, the nights when you are too afraid to speak. It uses those cracks to grow bigger and louder. That is the only power it truly has. But the moment you stand up, the moment you turn and face it and open your mouth and say with your full chest, no. Not here. Not me. Not today, something shifts. Not slowly. Immediately. I am not saying every battle is won the moment you speak. I am just a 19-year-old girl from Lagos who lived through something that should have broken her and found out, right in the middle of the worst of it, that she was stronger than it. That strength is inside you too. Even when your hands are shaking and you are sitting on the floor of your corridor at 6 in the morning, too afraid to go back into your own room. It is there. You just have to decide to use it. I am precious. I am 19 years old. I am alive. And I am free.